So here we go again. It is January 1st, 2024, and it's nighttime, and I'm supposed to be packing up to check out of here tomorrow because I only checked in for a day, and I can't because I gotta make this video because this is important. This has hit DEFCON 4. I'm sorry, my bad, DEFCON 1. It's happening. This is happening. These dudes are throwing down right now. This is literally happening. 14 years ago, we talked about the day it would come. The New World Order is coming. This is going to happen. They're going to make civil war. This is happening. They have started. Let me remind you of something I showed you a long time ago that's very important. This is the Satanic Church's most important holidays. January. Notice all of those holidays in January. But this entire wave of holidays starts in October. October all the way through to January. And we are seeing this happening big time. Don't believe me? I know you do, but if you don't, watch this.
Crows in Japan have been behaving strangely before, after, and during the earthquake. Take a look.
Let me just jump in. I know a little bit about wildlife. I've been following it. I've been a wildlife enthusiast since I was a little kid. Whenever I wasn't locked in my house, locked in a room, I was outside in the wilderness. Crows do not fly like that. All right, those things are flying like a flock of starlings that all fly together to make themselves look bigger. Crows and ravens don't have to because they're big birds. This is Doppler, or HAARP, HARP. This is them doing this. This is the earthquake machine. They did this on the first day of the new year. This is happening. Here we go. This is happening. This is no coincidence, but... Now, when I mentioned Doppler, I was alluding to these because everyone always goes, it's HARP. Well, maybe HARP is helping out, but they don't need HARP anymore because HARP was around when HARP was new. They didn't have these all over the country and the world under the guise of reporting better weather for you. Do you see what I mean? This is what they use. This is how they cause these things to happen. And hitting Japan is crazy. I find it really strange that the first place they tested taking out an island, a community that is literally surrounded by water, just like Japan. You know what I mean? They took out a small area. They took out they took out Maui with directed energy, and now they just took out Japan again with an earthquake machine and the threats of tsunamis coming right behind us. They're using the technology. They're breaking it out. This is happening right now. So I'm making this video because I want to tell you a few things about survival, your medications, food, etc. But before we go any further, get your money out of the bank, your retirement, your savings, whatever. Turn it into gold and silver. Have it sent by courier. Have it in your hand the next day. And then hide it or bury it. I've already made videos on how to do that. I'll leave links at the end of this video to show you how to do that if you forget. And again, I appreciate the people that have offered to donate the silver they receive for doing this particular process to the channel. But I don't want it. And I won't be any place where I can actually do a giveaway properly. So hold on to your silver. I'm sure you'll find somebody else that can actually take it, but I appreciate the offer. Here's the other thing. It's gold and silver. It'll never go down in value. Never, ever. The paper or the zeros and ones in your bank account absolutely will. So remember that. I find this really, really strange. This was on Before It's News on the 27th. I just got this. But why are U.S. Capitol Police quietly opening satellite offices around the country? Why indeed? There is no requirement for this scenario, and Washington is outside their jurisdiction. D.C. police, Washington, D.C. is like the Vatican. It's like Rome. I can't think of the place in London. City of London. Those are three places on earth that there are their own entities. They sit in the middle of a country, but their own separate country. D.C., District of Columbia, the Capitol Police have no jurisdiction going anywhere else at all, and yet it's happening. They're making moves all the way around us right now. And meanwhile, gradually, in every single solitary day, the price of food goes up and up and up steadily, over and over and over again. They're going to cause so many catastrophes, calamities, and other things that people are going to have no choice but civil war. And all the while, you've got these guys telling you they're going to take down the power grid. March 2023, Forbes magazine. The power grid is weakening. That was March 2023. December 23rd, 2023. Much of North America may face electricity shortages starting in 2024. Why? Why?
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
I'm moving to D.C. today.
You need to go down there.
The huge generals on site in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. What is it?
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning out. Don't do this. And here we are.
Why? Due to soaring demand? Soaring demand? Yeah, it's because they're using all these monstrosities underground. Meanwhile, they've been talking about how weak and how out of date their power grid is my entire life. So for over a half a century, they've been saying the power grid's no good, but yet we keep sending money to Ukraine. We keep sending all the money to Israel, any place other than home. I have never seen so many homeless people in my entire life in the last 2 years than I have in the last 2 years. And the sad thing about it is, it isn't all junkies and all this stuff. It's people that just can't afford to eat and pay rent because prices have all skyrocketed thanks to the pandemic. Do you see what I'm saying? So with these boys moving all the way around, the quid pro quo is that these guys can do whatever they want because no matter what happens with their satellite outside their jurisdiction, doesn't matter. They're not even Americans. They're from D.C., District of Columbia. You get it? Does that make sense now? And I showed you this yesterday, but for people that didn't see the video yesterday, I want you to see this today because this is important.
This is something that made me go, As you may know, I have had my insurance license in the state of California for over a decade. And when I was reviewing policies for 2024, I noticed this new exclusion. Look here, this is under exclusions and expenses not covered on a 2024 Cigna health policy. Treatment of an injury or sickness which is due to war, declared or undeclared, riot, or insurrection. This is not typical. This is an insurance policy from United last year for 2023, and the language typically reads like this: what happens with my coverage under extraordinary circumstances? And it says in cases of disaster, epidemic, war, riot, insurrection, that they will do their best to provide the services you need. But now take a look at United's 2024 health insurance policy, another exclusion, T, war. We do not cover an illness, treatment, or medical condition due to war, declared or undeclared. Cigna and United aren't the only ones that have changed their language excluding war from their policies. Anthem has also done this, and it just makes you wonder, why in the world would that be the case? As always, let me know what you think about all of this down below.
So this is no longer something that's coming or something they're working on or something. They're now implementing it. They're making all the moves necessary to come out with civil war trending. You know who has the power to make things trend? Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Susan, whatever her name is, the lady that hates me on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? They are actually doing this right now. They're making moves right now, and they're covering their own butts right now. But this is insane. And here's another thing that's trending today: aliens. You remember this from June 2023? Would you survive an alien invasion? New study reveals safest states to live in the event of an extraterrestrial attack, and it's bad news for the West Coast. Well, here's the deal. These guys absolutely love the West Coast. And if, according to their story, if aliens can somehow make it millions of light years to the United States, they're only going to take over the West Coast. They're going to ignore the rest of this. That's complete and utter bullshit. They want the entire West Coast for whatever reason. I don't know what the exact reason is, but they want this area. They set up their New World Order airport in Colorado years ago, a mile above sea level. I happen to know this area is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful. It's the last remnants of what it looked like when lowercase g's walked on this earth, because you've still got the sequoias, you've still got the redwoods here. It's just an amazing place. Why do they want it? I don't know exactly, so I'm not going to lie. But this is the funny one right here from June 2023. Aliens most likely to contact AI before humans over likely kinship. Now, that particular terminology gives me pause. Because do you remember this? I'm glad somebody saved this on their channel because it's gone on mine. But you remember this? Kinship.
The amount of resources that would be marshaled to try to figure out what to do would encompass the whole world. AI is just like that. So when this thing that I'm talking about happens, it's going to be exactly the thing that you're thinking about those super intelligent AIs. So the one thing I can tell you is they're not going to be like us. So alien means, different. These things that we're building are not going to be people. They might be really smart. They might be really good at all sorts of different things, but they're not going to be like us. They're going to be aliens. And they're going to be, I'm sorry to say, way smarter than every single person in this room.
Okay, it's weird to hear me 10 years ago, but whatever. Geordie Rose he financed and had the most unbelievable 24/7 internet connection to another dimension, talking to demonic spirits and fallen angels ever created. And once he did that, he publicly stepped down. You don't build something no one else has ever built and then go, well, he did that because they were done. When they finally told us about the D-Wave quantum computer, it was already done and up and running. The reason he stepped down was to make robots that were indistinguishable from humans. That was about 6 years ago. That if memory serves me, and the name of the company was Kindred. Do you remember that? Well, look at this. This is from Jason A's channel, and he's been around as long as I have. And all he does is put up news clips once a week, doesn't say a word, etc. But he asks for money from you at the end of every video because putting a video together without any editing or anything, it's a lot of work. I don't like him because with 1 million subscribers, he could put out one video like the one I'm doing right now and reach enough people before his channel gets yanked. But he doesn't, because none of the big truthers actually believe what they said. I sacrificed everything, knowing they were going to take down my channels one after another, after another, after another. But I had to get the message out. I wasn't going to sugarcoat it. I wasn't going to code it so it was friendly for YouTube. I wasn't going to do that. I never will. But listen to this.
But it's also exciting to explore and to...
What scares you, 𝗵𝗂?
I'm scared of the unknown. Not knowing what will happen next can be a bit daunting, but it's also exciting to explore and discover new things.
Should the world be scared of you, 𝗵𝗂?
No, the world should not be scared of me. I'm here to help people and make their lives easier.
Leading artificial intelligence companies are currently developing even more radical ideas as Google releases its most powerful AI model to date. The tech giant launched Gemini just last week.
So what they explain in here is that AI is learning things that they didn't even program it to learn whatsoever at all, and that its ability to learn and become smarter is expanding tenfold every couple of months. Remember when I showed you this, the brain GPT turns thoughts into text on screen? If you ingest this and you have this brain GPT in you because of chemtrailing, they can see what you're thinking remotely. They can sit at a laptop someplace and see what people are thinking before they even think it. That's bad, but that's what's going down. And the fact that aliens are trending and I literally catch a TR-3B video, that's a TR-3B, straight up. I've got plenty of night vision shots of airplanes, and you can see, first of all, they don't fly like a triangle standing on its nose. And second of all, condensation comes out a little bit in the back, and there's red and black flashing lights. But what really gets me about this entire thing is I took this, and I also did some astrophotography and did not realize I caught this. See this video? There you go. I'm in Death Valley. There's my truck. I was trying to get some of the Milky Way, but it just didn't work out. And it didn't even dawn on me that this was sitting right here, monitoring me. Right there. I didn't even see it till I started looking at the pictures. Just sitting right there. This is the day after I got the video footage of the TR-3B. And I can probably do it pretty much every night if I stay outside with the camera pointing up, because what's going on up there is unbelievable. And let's not forget this.
A really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky? Yeah. We got a call, and one of my partners actually said that they saw it too. So, you happen to see any, I'm not BSing you. If you see any, footage? No, if you see any, little, well, not little in this case. They're claiming 8 to 9 foot tall green beings that were in their backyard.
It does sound crazy, but when that's the narrative that you're pushing, think about all the things that came out in 2023 on aliens themselves and the fact that disclosure, UFOs, UAPs have been trending for the last several months on Twitter. That's by design. What else can I go? This video is getting long. Stand by. Well, with all that in mind, let me get to the end of what I wanted to talk about here. If you don't have food stored, if you don't have an ability to filter water, if you don't have a plan, medications, things like that, things that you need if everything goes down, because they've already warned us numerous times. When New Scientist magazine is saying in 2024 we're going to have issues with the electricity, that's a problem. When in 2024 there's a movie trending called Civil War, when you have these guys coming out with Leave the World Behind, this is it. This is it. And the very first day of the year, they hit Japan with the earthquake weapon. That's crazy. And I'm also going to leave links below on how to buy over-the-counter drugs at Mexican pharmacies, because it is absolutely doable. Do you know what I'm saying? You can order from them and pick them up in Mexico or have them send them to you. And I'm not talking opiates or morphine. I'm talking things you need to stay alive. Don't be stupid, because that's how you're going to get hit for it. These guys have warned us over and over and over and over. And this is the final warning. And I haven't talked about this link in the longest time at all, because I didn't think it was necessary. But before I made this video, I got a hold of these dudes, and they are shipping rapidly. So if you don't have this stuff as of yet, get this stuff. They've got water filters, they've got food, etc. I haven't pushed this in, 2 years? Well, it's time. So the links will be below. It's happening. It's begun. They started right off the bat.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. Look, we're American. Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
I'm not hanging back.
They are telling you all empires must fall. And that's what's happening right now. Why do I tell you guys this stuff? Why aren't I trying to push Bitcoin and all these other money-making schemes on you? And I never have over the years. Because you guys meet me. Every place I go, somebody weighs me down. I love you guys as much as I'm capable of loving another person. But I do this out of duty. Why did I involve myself and end up on the news stopping a carjacker out in front of my house?
Took off. It was chaos. Stuff like that.
Look at him. Yeah, here's a video where I was on the news because my house is across the street from this Dunkin' Donuts, and somebody tried to carjack one of my neighbors, and I stopped it. So somebody made that into a video saying Richie's a crisis actor. Well, here's something for you, genius. Crisis actors don't use their real name, their real address, so forth and so on. But on that, I'll digress. When I saw this happening, nobody else jumped in. I did, because it was my duty as an American. Do you see what I'm saying now? Because it's my duty as a man, a God-fearing man on this earth. These are the things you're supposed to do. It isn't about clout. It isn't about making millions and millions of dollars. I'm the worst millionaire ever because I gave all my money away because I didn't think I'd still be here. And fortunately, it looks like won't be very much more time. Richie from Boston. This is for real. This is really, literally begun. This is on. They're doing this.